Welcome back, everybody. It was after a brief pause that we are now back here live in the studio of Join Dota. That's right. If we focus a little bit, we can actually say our words correctly. Emocore versus Panzer. It is the defense. It is powered by Own 3D TV and supported by Razer. So thank you very much to those guys out there. We have ourselves our second last game of the day, which might not seem like much, but like second last game, or sometimes you only have 3 games in one day. I've been casting solo since 9 a.m. this morning. That's 9 hours straight. And we've got another probably 2.5 hours to go. So stick around. We can have some awesome stuff. You ain't going anywhere because we're going into the game. Well, actually, in that case, you are going somewhere. It's just to a different location as opposed to, I gotta turn the stream off. To the point of we're actually going to be visible inside the game. Righty then. Profit is the first ban for the diet. Now, I want to point out right now that the guy at the top of the list of the diet is not Kurokai. It is their stand-in. It is not Kurokai. Kurokai is currently having net troubles, not answering, blah, 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 blah. Basically, he just didn't turn up. So it's RMN, Leaf, Alex, and Azen. They will be playing as the normal 4, and then the 5th stand-in. Holy Master is our officiate. He is the one ensuring that everything goes according to plan. I'm actually just bringing up the roster right now. Luckily, there is a roster on the defense where we can actually look at their roster where, seriously? There they are. So yeah, Alex, Leaf, RMN, Jamaris, and Kurokai are the ones actually allowed into the game. So they're actually using 2 subs. No, just 1. Yeah, Jamaris. Yeah. So they're using a couple of subs. Doesn't really matter in the end. They're using subs. That's what it comes down to. Also, in their group down in... I'm actually looking at my reference screen down here. You can see me. I'm still down here inside the box. I'm looking down towards my reference screen. So Panzer haven't played a single game yet. It's the same for Emocore. Emocore also have not played a single game. They're in the same group as the Eben guys, the Hon compilation team, which I was really impressed with by the other night. And Storm's Games Clan, Trust, and Evil Geniuses. Evil Genius won't be playing any of their matches until December when they arrive back in Europe, at which point then we get to have all the fun we want to. And of course, when I get back to Berlin, because there's a lot of matches, a lot of LAN tournaments coming up where we'll be traveling around doing those little suckers. So yeah, there'll be a 2 or 3 week break for the matches.
Radiant team pick.
So yeah, let's have a look at our... Oh, hang on, maybe just drop back so I can have my live stream up on the side, just in case anything goes wrong. So let's have a look at that ban. So Prophet, the Lich, Anti-Mage, and Batrider are actually making into the ban pool. Never a big fan of Batrider making the ban pool. It's just kind of like... yeah. Nobody is picking him, as far as Dota 2 goes. Night Stalker, Ancient Apparition, as well as Morana have all made it into the pool for the Dias. They got good initiation, got good silence, got good global presence when they want to let off that AA ulti in combination with anybody ganking around the world. The Radiant then have Vengeful Spirit and Windrunner. So one of the best. She's a Ranger, so she is the best. Side lane solo. Also great for those team fights. If you can get some awesome shackles, you can just turn team fights completely in your favor. Then also the Vengeful Spirit is in the mix. So one of my favorite support heroes. I don't put it up there completely at the top of the pinnacle of support heroes, but I do love Vengeful Spirit. The extra bit of damage you get, the good early stun, the good negative armor, all helps with getting those kills very early on in the piece. Not to mention great positional play and stops my most hated neutral hero of all, which is Enigma. Or actually, I shouldn't say that. He's not my most hated neutral hero, he's my most hated side lane solo hero. That just starts to get under your skin when he's always side solo. So, Joe Ranger comes up as ban, so they realise now the Radiant have picked up Beastmaster as their last. They're going to have their mid-solo, or depending where they're going to run them, Night Stalker and Beastmaster matching up against each other. Then Ancient Apparition probably going to play support with Morana on the side. Beastmaster and Vengeful Spirit, they might go hand in hand for the early part of the game. We might see a bit of support going in towards the middle. Depends what we see from the Dire. We might see like a Venomancer come out, at which point Dire will be like, hey, he's going to support that guy in the middle lane. We're going to have to throw a Vengeful Spirit to help him out. Yeah. Or we need some hard carries. Hard carries from both teams, in fact. We've already got a little bit of damage coming out from the Morana as well as the Night Stalker, and they might be happy with that. They might not decide to actually go pure agi damage and just think Morana can make up for it. Leaf just disconnecting from the game for some unknown reason. Now reconnecting, so we're all good. But Drow Ranger, Spectre being removed as well. So looking for those hard tanky heroes. As far as what we're going to look at for what is left to actually pick, we had some surprises in our last game. It's just like, all right, so what kind of carry are you going to get? Then again, our first game of the day, we started with an SA. It's like, hey, awesome, Invis against the Slider. Wow, that's a great idea. Weaver's also still in the mix. It was an option. Not a bad option, too, for the Dire. Just got to be careful, because Slider's still also in the mix. And Puck is the ban for the Dire. Maybe thinking the Beastmaster is not going to run the side solo. So we do see the Dire ban out Puck. Rather surprising. I would have actually taken out Weaver myself. Well, again, if they're wanting to pick him up, they do actually get the first pick. So the choice is theirs, and there we go. Radiant already works it out. And Ty didn't even think. They just picked CM. Boom. Straight. Yeah. Booyah. Crystal Bay is then picked. Which then makes me think it's the Void. Void would be their main carry. So Radiant's got to think, okay, how are we going to go about this? We need some damage to actually kill off the Void. No one can really set up toe-to-toe. They banned out the Anti-Mage. They banned out the Spectra. Weaver could deal the damage and play around with him, but they're still to a point where Weaver will have some trouble, and he's banned out anyway. Drow Ranger's banned out. It's like, where are we going to go with this? Do we actually go, okay, let's grab SA. What kind of anti-hero are they looking at? They need damage. No matter what happens, they need damage. The choice they have right now is, do we actually get the damage with this pick and try and stop the Dire from picking up someone like Faceless Void? Or do we go, maybe we should just try and push them down. We'll grab ourselves a jungler, we'll grab Enchantress, or we'll grab Chen. Prophet's already taken out, so you know him as an option. We'll try and push out from there. The second hero banned from the Radiant is Batrider for one of the guys in the IRC chat that actually just asked, so your answer for you. The Radiant are going to start running out of time for who they want to pick. It's a simple decision, guys. One support hero or one carry hero. That's all you have to choose. Unless you want to run Windrunner as a support hero, at which point then you're looking for a little bit more carry. And that's actually not the first time it's happened. Windrunner can actually run support. Enigma. And Enigma is in the pick. Great. Yay! It's Enigma! In the mix. So we're actually going to run AA solo. So we're going to have Mirana for the Dire. More than likely, I'm going to go on the top lane. See, Mirana versus Windrunner on the top lane, unless they run them both on the bottom, but that's going to be like the mutual agreement of both teams. Then Ancient Apparition going up against Beastmaster in the mid, or possibly Night Stalker, and then AA solo. AA should be solo mid.
10 seconds.
Night Stalker will be the side lane solo, and then CM and Tide going for a bit of a roam.
5 seconds remaining.
As for the Radiant, with Enigma, they could run him in the jungles. I hope he runs in jungle. If he runs side solo, I'm going to be a little bit annoyed. It could be like massively annoying if that's the case. And then Broodmother. For the Radiant is the last one. So maybe we won't have a different side solo. So Radiant will be pushing out that bottom lane with the Broodmother. That kind of screws up the Dire for what I was thinking they're going to do. It kind of now means, like, how are they going to stop the pressure that's going to be coming through their bottom lane? You can't just leave Mirana down there to go solo. Mirana's going to be harassed and pushed back as much as they can. So it's either they run the tri lane on bottom, and then they try and gush Nova whenever they see that Broodmother appear, and Night Stalker tries to go one-on-one, face-to-face, get that poor man's shield up early, and try and live through it. And that gives Leaf a little bit more space to move around up on the top lane, get some farm, and then they can hurl out the AA ulti when they need to. Checking out the lanes. Crystal Maid's just going for a ward trip, so that's giving no indication for where she's going. Mirana's going to go south. All right, so Mirana will go south. Going up high will be Tidehunter as well as Night Stalker. So that'll be the dual lane combination. Crystal Maid will be roaming, probably helping out mid where she can, which will be... No, it won't. It'll be Beastmaster. It's not Enigma. He's also going for a ward trip. And then we'll have the Vengeful Spirit also heading up, just to check out that first room. And you can also see them going on those separate paths. See Enigma just run up the mid and then through here, where Vengeful Spirit decide to actually run through the top half.
Seconds to battle.
2 separate halves, just in case one of them actually gets ganks, makes life a little bit easier. And then they can still look at it from 2 different angles. Because if you walk down just around this area, just around here, then you actually have some issues. think Holding Master's actually got some troubles with that,
The battle begins.
with that extra player, the Ancient Apparition. So hopefully there will be no disqualifications for using it. So yeah, so he is actually using a fake name. This is something the Germans will have to get used to. It's something which we're going to make a bit of a common thing here at Join Dota. That no matter what tournament we run, players will be forced to actually play under their official names. So we're not going to have 101 different aliases you can go to. You're allowed to actually change your official name, but not multiple times in the couple of months. So it's going to force it so you can actually identify what player you actually enjoy watching the most. Magic Missile stun in the mid. Beastmaster does have those axes, not at the moment. So Ancient Apparition should be able to live through this pretty easily. Got to be careful not to get a double stun on it. If Vengeful Spirit actually gets another stun, they can get that kill pretty easily, but now the Sal's done its work, it'll be fine. But yes, just something out there for all those players who are just like, oh, I love changing my name every single freaking time. It actually pisses a lot of people off. Remembering who is actually who, your different aliases, and like, while that alias might mean something to you, it means absolutely nothing to everybody else. It's like, you're Asn, aren't you? Oh, no, you're playing under the name of 543445, now 7.4, of course. Alright, that kind of shit doesn't fly. So, yeah. We're changing the rules, man. We're setting the trend. Looking in towards the middle lane. Vengeful Spirit still supporting that Beastmaster. Realizing the Beastmaster can take a lot of damage from that Ancient Apparition. Also, the downside is Vengeful Spirit's having to share the XP. I mean, Vengeful Spirit, Beastmaster's having to share the XP with VS. Which is going to cause some issues, especially later on in the game. Nice Dog is having free farm up on the top, and if you have an underlevel Beastmaster, there's going to be no Roll, there's going to be no Axes, there's going to be no Call of the Wild, there's none of what you actually need. Rune did not spawn up on top, it was an Illusion Rune on bottom. Surprising we actually have another Call of the Wild go up. Send a Crow down there. Does give a little bit of time for Beastmaster to get some extra XP, instead of having to share it. So what I'm talking about for Mirana, she's going to cop a lot of damage on this bottom lane. Sure, she's got the escape mechanism, but it's kind of like one of those painful things of, oh, I'm actually not stopping Warg from farming. We'll actually check that. So on the bottom lane, Broodmother at 12 for 2, and Mirana at 8 for 1. So yeah, the advantage still going the way of Warga. And he'll keep having a great time on there. Even though they're just missing a couple of last hits just then, which is not going to help his case. There we go. There we go. What are we going for Windrunner? Windrunner thinks got nothing. Windrunner 0 for 0. Yep. Pops off the Windrun, gets ice coned up, so it's wasted the mana for it and already taken too much damage from the Crystal Maiden, giving more space for Asm. 16 for 5. Enigma's actually doing a pretty decent job with the neutrals. Well, which Enigma? Both of them. Having a great time inside the neutrals. At 18 for 0 already. And then the 12 for 2, the Beastmaster against the Ancient Apparition, who is only 3 for 5 right now. The Ancient Apparition having a really, really hard time in mid. Bottom lane gank. Mini stuns. Even if she leaves, she'll still be held in place. And Enigma actually gets it with that last stun. You do have a lot of conversions which do a lot of damage, so it's the right time to move in. Probably one they kill going on to the Broodmother. But in this case, it goes to Enigma, so life's actually a little bit easier for them. And it looks like Windrunner also getting killed. Back past that tier 1 tower. 3 heroes have actually dived.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So now the tier 1 tower we pushed. Should destroy the majority of that tier 1. In fact, they're going to take the whole thing.
Radiant structures
Tier 1 tower will take a fall. VS actually catching Asn. Asn throwing out 1 level of silence as well as a void. Now he gets Magic Missile. Beastmaster should be able to throw the axes. In fact, will do so. And Windrunner will get the last hit.
Eternal darkness.
And they protect their tier 1 tower on top because of that. It's a bit of a search. Oh, Mirana's in a little bit of trouble as well. Forced to fall back past the tier 2 tower. Starfall pops down. Warga is just forced back into the trees. Doesn't have another web just yet. Level 3 on the web, so can throw down another one if he needs to, and it won't destroy what he's already created. It's also one thing for these webs, you can space them out a little bit more than what he has. But now it's just this massive webbing. And just runs up the lane. Broodmother was thinking about going in towards the middle, but this is a long time for her not to be on that bottom lane. Really long time. Buys time for Moran to level up. Already level 3 on Starfall. Gets to level 7, you get a level 4 on the Starfall, then, well, basically no Spiderlings will survive after that point. Cold Feet now on the Beastmaster. He stood his ground for this, so he's going to have to take that Cold Feet damage. Ancient Aberration won't really care. Costs very little mana for him to pop off. Beastmaster just pops off a bottle charge. Be flying the boots out to himself in just a moment. It was the treads that were sent down towards the bottom lane for the Broodmother. Attack a little bit faster, holding Leaf inside those trees. Leaf can leap away. And will be forced to. So 30 seconds, he is without an escape mechanism, so that's 30 seconds for Warga to farm. Meanwhile, on the top lane, Night Stalker, now that it's the first nighttime cycle, is happy to come down and ensure the destruction of the tier 1 tower on top. Wants to get the last hit himself, so he can clear the Vanguard. Magic Missile stun, then followed by a power shot, kills off the Crystal Maiden. That tower is still hitting. Azen's going to keep on going. Tynana kills off the tower.
Tower has fallen.
Vengeful Spirit's on the run. He has one more stun. Hurls it, but he will die. Ty killing him with a gush. Probably didn't need to do that,
By morning,
but it does give him that little bit of extra farm
but bone.
to get towards those mana boots. Windrunner will just hold back a little bit further. No reason for her to be a little bit aggressive. And now we're going to go for the bottom lane gank again. So mini stuns. Look for the leap. There goes the leap. Stuns will continue. Need a little bit more hits, and then the Spiderlings. Actually going to use the Black Hole to get this kill. Spiderlings were the last things thrown into a chest. Which is why we see Warga picking off the kill. Still a Black Hole, worth it. To get a kill on that side solo. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Beastmaster in a little bit of trouble, currently silenced. ulti was hurled in towards the middle lane. I think they actually thought that was actually gonna hit. Didn't in the end. Beastmaster staying inside the trees. So the angle just didn't work quite right. Azen just comes back again. One more void will actually seal the death of Beastmaster, but he doesn't feel the need to leave. That's why he's popping off those bottle charges. There goes the Frost. They got the vision for it. They might look for the Roar. There goes the Roar. Night Stalker's in range of the tower. VS actually now swapping as well. Will it be? No. VS goes down. Azen. Yeah! It's enough. 17 HP. Saved by the Ring of Health. So Night Stalker, one lucky bastard. That will help complete up that Vanguard. Should go back and buy up an urn. In the meantime, bottom tower's been pushed. The pushing power of Enigma as well as Broodmother. It's impossible for Leaf to hold. It's kind of probably the reason why we also saw the Dire banning out. Actually, it was the Dire that banned out Puck. I don't think of it. Puck would have actually been an awesome choice for this bottom lane. Leaf should be happy with what he's got. Mini stuns. Leaps. Still getting stunned, but it should be fine. It's a tier 2 tower that won't be. Still some Spiderlings on the front lines that are helping tank the damage. Need to keep those conversions on the front line still, so the siege creep doesn't get damaged. Hey, stream for the AA inside his bottle. So it denies the rune to the Beastmaster. Really got to keep control of this little hawky guy, the Scout Hawk. With control of him, you can watch these runes, and you'll know what it was actually picked up like that. In the meantime, Azen using this nighttime to farm, which is rather surprising. Considering Night Stalker's got to use that first nighttime to really get some kills. Look at his kills right now, 3 for 1, so I'm not going to say, man, Azen, you're playing wrong. 31 for 5, and you got 3 kills for 1 death? Oh, nah, noob. Nah, he's doing pretty well. Vengeful Spirit now coming down towards the bottom lane. Leaf leaps away. VS not level 6, so we can't swap. Warga almost wanted to dive that. Decided against it, and that was wisely so. In the meantime, Enigma now with the Soul Ring. Strength treads, and already up to almost 1,000 gold, so that Blink Dagger won't be too far off. Interesting to see if we do see a Blink Dagger or a BKB. See, Phase Boot's already up on Windrunner. And just the start, we've got a Magic Wand. It's basically done for him. It looks like also a 4-staff on the way. Double Soul Ring for the Radiant side, so I'd love to have that mech up sometime soon. Get that little bit of heal. Either that or Vlad's from the Broodmother. Always a great choice when you try to play a pushing Broodmother. where you always have the lifesteal for your spiderlings, not just for you. Like, you're fine, you can always pop off your insatiable hunger. But even then, not even leveled up by Brewmother. Not wanting to go it, so we've got 4 on the webs and 4 on the links. So Vlad's would be a great choice for her. Shackle shot, latches! Needs a power. Beastmaster Raw. Why no power shot? Saving it. Ravage will go. There goes the power shot. There's a very, very quick one. AA ulti killing up the Beastmaster. Got caught out. And also Windrunner being brought down. A long arrow will fly through absolutely nobody. Because they're already dead. Ancient Apparition was brought down. And a pause of the game by the Broodmother. Vengeful Spirit is dead in mid. You can see it right now. Look at that anchor just swinging at him. So we had a computer crash. That would explain why Beastmaster ended up on the high ground and Windrunner didn't actually run back. And that's actually the perfect time to do it, Alex. If you have a computer crash, then you've got to actually pause, no matter what happened. It just depends on this timing. But the Windrunner is gone. We'll explain what she set up on the high ground, and her life was gone because of it. What the hell? Just a smack talk coming out from the players. One thing I haven't showed you just yet is the gold graph. I know you guys love it. You guys love the gold. But it's 2,000. The difference was almost 3 grand in favor of the Radiant, but now that they've lost those 3 heroes in mid, or about to lose those 3 heroes in mid for the price of an Ancient Apparition, that is well worth it. They've only lost 1 tier 1 tower, and they've claimed one themselves, so as far as towers go, balance is there. So that gold difference has come primarily from the CS. So Enigma inside the neutrals with a 49, and the 54 for Broodmother on the bottom lane, and then another 30 and 25 for Beastmaster and Windrunner respectively. Look over towards the Dire side, the big hard carries. Leaf at 36, and I am referring to Leaf as the big hard carry. So Windrunner's now back, Leaf instantly reconnecting the game, and VES does die. But as far as their hard carries later on in the game, I'd never class Broodmother as one. But Night Stalker and Mirana, Leaf and Azen, they're the 2 guys. They kind of know this game's not going to go late game. Like, this is one of those ones where about 50 minutes in, the heroes can start reaching their power cap. And Waka doesn't really want to go much longer than that. He wants to be pushing out this bottom lane. He wants to be taking out these towers. What I'd like to see from him, though, is actually not just staying here on this bottom lane. I want to see him rotate up towards the top. Take out these tier 1s, take out these tier 2s. It's one of these things where Broodmother is finding in the current metagame of Dota 2 that once she takes out the tier 2 tower, the push basically stops about here. The support is rallied in, and it's generally not rallied in as an overcommitment. It was generally an overcommitment in the world of Dota 1. And that was their biggest problem. In the meantime, Night Stalker actually killing Windrunner on the top lane next to the tower. Tier 2 tower is where the action's about to be, though. Ancient Apparition and CM looking to go. Cold feet on the Beastmaster. Be able to walk himself away fast enough, and the tower goes down with Enigma's conversions. So this is the wise thing to do. Take out these extra towers. Leaf's going to be